Alright, welcome to OSIKANI TV on YouTube once again. Let's talk about Ghana under 17 and the next Africa Cup of Nations, because a lot of people were asking me questions under my previous videos. OSIKANI, have we qualified for the next Afcon? Do we have a chance of qualifying for the next Afcon? What is the latest? What are the details? I'll tell you the details and what I know as of now. I'll talk about all the details in this update quickly. After that, then we'll check out what journalists have to say on Ghana versus Burkina Faso yesterday, and also after coach Laryea Kingston resigned, what they also have to say about it. We will check it out quickly in this video. Before then, if you have joined me, take your time and like the video for me. After liking, if you are new, subscribe to this channel, put us on post notification so that anytime we drop a latest update, you'll be the first person to get and also enjoy. Leave a thought and comment in the comment box, and please, after watching, share the link for others to also come here and enjoy the latest on this channel. Please, we will be back to the studios very soon so that we can give you back-to-back content with good sound and everything. At the moment, you have to manage it for us because we are staying in Accra trying to do one or two stuff, but we will be returning very soon and bring you a lot of updates on this channel. Now, let's quickly delve into the details on this one. First question, has Ghana qualified for the next Africa Cup of Nations? No, we have not qualified. Do we have a chance of qualifying? Yes, it is very possible. We have not qualified because, one, WAFU, that is the West African Football Union, who is actually organizing this particular WAFU tournament. The only information they have is only 2 nations have been given to them, or it has been communicated to them that 2 nations will qualify for the next Africa Cup of Nations, which is going to be played for the under 17 level. So that is the information they are working with now. So only the 2 finalists, that is talking of 1, Ivory Coast, and 2, Burkina Faso, they have qualified for the next Africa Cup of Nations. Now, things can change. Why and how is it going to change? Because, first of all, FIFA have officially communicated, and it was actually communicated to us, or it was actually posted by go.com on March 14, 2024, that from the next FIFA World Cup for the under 17 level, we are going to have 48 nations who are going to play the FIFA World Cup. And out of those 48 nations who are going to play the next FIFA World Cups for the under 17 level, Africa will be given 9 to 10 slots, just like how the World Cup is going to be done for the male senior national teams. So Africa, we are going to have at least 9 slots, and we can also get 10 slots depending on how everything will pan out. So if Africa is going to get at least 9 slots, we cannot play the next Africa Cup of Nations with 8 countries. Please, let's get it clear. Because as of now, if WAFU will send 2 reps or 2 countries, as in Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso, it means that the next Africa Cup of Nations, we are going to have only 8 nations, because 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, then 4. Then we are going to get, 8 nations. So 2 from each region, and that is how it is going to be. So if now the slot for the World Cup is going to be increased to 9, we cannot play 8-nation Africa Cup of Nations and select 9 countries. Please, are we getting it? So definitely, CAF will also communicate to WAFU the new number that will actually participate in the next Afcon. And that is what we don't have as of now. Yesterday, according to one CAF rep, what he said was, for now, they have been, yesterday, according to one WAFU member or WAFU rep, he says, for now, they only know of 2 countries, but there will be changes. That is what we know. So, as of now, Ghana have not qualified, but we can qualify. The best thing I think our team should do is to place 3rd. If you place 3rd, definitely if they are considering new nations to be added, at least it will not be less than 4. You get it? Maybe 1 from each region, then they will add up to make 12 nations to go and play. I even think it's going to be more than 12, maybe about 16 nations. That is what I'm actually thinking. So if Ghana places 3rd, we have a high chance of qualifying for the next Africa Cup of Nations, which is going to actually happen for the under 17 level. So that is 1. So for the 9 to 10 nations to qualify for the next World Cup, we need to have more than 8 nations to play the under 17 Afcon. That is the basic thing. But the only problem here is CAF is here to communicate the new number that will participate in the under 17 level. That is why most of us are now confused. Now, the second thing, even making the semi-final right now, we may qualify to go to the Afcon. That is if CAF is going to give 2 more slots to each region to be 4-4-4-4 for us to go and participate, then Ghana will automatically go through by now. That is why personally I'm so much worried. I don't know, maybe Lai will have his own reasons, but I'm so worried as to why he should resign now, because we still have a game to play and we can qualify from that game. That is if we will not qualify from making the semi-final stage or making the third place stage. So basically that's how it is. Ghana can still qualify per what I said, because one, World Cup we are going to have 48 nations and Africa is going to have 9 to 10 slots. So Africa, we cannot go and play Afcon with 8 countries and select 9 or 10 to represent Africa. That is the basic thing that I can say. So we are all waiting for CAF to officially communicate the number of countries to represent from each region. That is West Africa, maybe 2. Then we go to East Africa 2, South Africa 2, then North of Africa 2. So that is it. We are just waiting for the new number. That is it. So let's check out what some journalists have to say concerning yesterday's performance and also Coach Laryea Kingston's resignation. I have here with me
Augustine.
Yeah, Augustine of Ghana Premier League Extra. Yeah, so guys, check it out. So Augustine, after the game, Ghana won, Burkina Faso 2. What are your thoughts on the game?
Well, if you look at the game, and obviously you can't take the goals out because in football, scoring goal is the primary objective. So, and the Burkina did the most important thing by doing that. Ghana decided to dominate the ball from minute 1 to 90. As Coach Laryea Kingston always wants his team to control, dictate the pace of the game. They did that today, especially in the first half. I don't know, and I'm curious to know what went on in the second half with the performance we saw in the second department of the game, because it seems the Burkina mental fortitude really quadrupled in the second half, and they were flying on all spares and cylinders. But then it's quite sad to see them living in the manner they played. As Coach said, he said he's living with his heads up. So yes, and I'm also living with my heads up. They actually played well, but it's quite unfortunate. Miscommunication and then some silly mistakes. We had to go out and fail to qualify to the Afcon and the World Cup at large.
Now, watching the game against that was Benin, second half, I think we didn't play differently in today's game, especially in the second half. What do you think is the problem? Is it that we don't have solid bench or players who can also climb up the bench to come and do magic for us?
Yeah, if you look at Ghana's defense very well, you could tell that there seems to be a problem maybe we don't know about in the defense, because at the point we had to switch to a 3-back, which didn't really even go well for us, because we switched to a 3-back, we changed our striker, and then we had to play a false 9 over there. So, and if you look at the Burkina what they really did to nullify our defensive setup was they had to defend very well and then pin about 4 or 3 men on our defenders. So if you pin 4 men on them, it counts a 4v4. Okay. They have the height already, and most of the contests were outdoors. They do win them, they get the second balls, they create enough time. So I think defensive shape wasn't too well, and then a cover for the defense was a problem as well. We didn't get a typical number 6 defensive midfielder to be doing the sweeping for them. So I think that's what we got with how we set up our team and their offensive shape as well.
Yeah, and at the post-match conference, we've been actually notified that the head coach of Ghana under 17 team, that is Laryea Kingston, he has stepped down as the head coach. What are your thoughts on that as well?
You see, every good dancer knows when and how to leave the stage. Yes, so I actually side with him in a way, because after how he has taken, where he took this very team, playing about 18 games, spent about 54, conceding less than 15 goals, and then leaving. I think this is the crop of players he had the confidence that he could work with. We might not see about 50% playing in this very team next year. So he feels he's done with them. He needs to move to the next step. I don't know the next step he's moving into, but then we might see him moving into a greater position. And he has done, oh yes, this is the time to pay way for another coach to come with his own team to start something afresh with under 17. And as I said, he has done well. He paid his dues very well. As a player, he paid, and then it didn't end well. As a coach, he paid and it didn't end well. So that's maybe his destiny as a Ghanaian.
All right, time for speaking with us.
All right, thank you for having me.
Ghana won, Burkina Faso 2, full time here. Ghana Black Stars could not make it to the final. I have one, Mr.
Safo.
Yeah, Safo is here. Safo, how did you see the game?
honestly, I don't think this game is different from any other game we've seen throughout this Wafu Zombie qualification competition. I mean, we expected Ghana to play this way, which is the new style being developed by the GFA, by the coach, which is a possession-based style of football. And we know how the Burkinabés play. They rely on a lot of physical strength. They're a very pragmatic side. They don't need the ball a lot to cause you damage. So this was the expectation of this game. I don't think anyone was surprised. I mean, what would come as a surprise to me is the fact that Ghana did not create as much as we expected. In Ghana's previous game against Benin, the second half was no different from what happened. That is, the players and the team did not really create much.
Okay.
So the question was whether we had learned from the game against Benin to create much in the second half especially. And the second half was a bit better, but it was not enough, especially a well-disciplined, well-drilled, well-oiled side like the Burkina Faso team, who had already beaten Nigeria to come here. So that was basically what happened. I feel like the Ghana team is good. They just need a lot of time, a lot of fluidity, especially in the third half of the game, which is when it comes to the attacking phase. They are just not that sharp. It's all about creation but lack of penetration. So if you ask me, I don't think I'm upset like how I'm seeing a lot of people upset. It's under 17. Most of the time, the mistake we tend to do with our junior level teams is that when they fail to progress in stages like this, we highlight on the negatives. We don't see the positives. Our defensive line had a very terrible game, but you look at the number 4 and you can really see the ease and confidence he has on the ball. So I believe what we can do from here is to just build on it, work on it. Luckily for us, the World Cup is now, I think every year or every 2 years, FIFA has made it in such a way that it's going to be rampant. So nothing really spoil. Just work on the team. Let Laryea continue doing what he's doing. Give the team some time, and then we will pick up.
Okay, so now going to the third and fourth, what are your expectations?
I want to see changes, especially in the attacking half.
Okay.
We should be able to, just like how we were able to score a lot of goals, free flowing. Scoring shouldn't be a problem. Chance creation shouldn't be a problem. One thing I've realized is that normally, whenever it's in the first half, I think it's an energetic thing. We are very penetrative in the first half, but in the second half, we are not that expansive. We are not that threatening. So that's what I would personally, if I'm watching the game, that's what I want to see.
So
I don't see the threat.
Do you think Ghana will have a very good bench?
A good bench. You see, when it comes to this stage, I don't think it's necessarily about a bench or anything. I feel like if you are an under 17 and you are on the bench, you are on the field, there is something about you. Okay. Over 24 million population. If you are an under 17 and at this stage you are called up here, there should be something about you among your peers. I mean, there are a lot of chit chats at the back about how we pick our under 17s, but you should be at least on a certain level. These players are playing second division and playing coast football and whatever it is. So I believe if you're on the bench, you are good in and of itself. So it's not about whether you have a bench or whether you do not have a bench. So far as you are here, you should be good to play.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Charlie, thanks.
Welcome to OSIKANI TV. Ghana won, Burkina Faso 2, and Ghana is out of this particular final for the Wafu Zombie Afcon qualifier. What are your thoughts on the game?
I mean, it was a disappointing game for us Ghanaians, but then on the technical side, I think the Burkinabés defended very well. I think they are the only team yet to consider going in the tournament, if I'm right. Yes, they are the only team yet to consider going in the tournament. But then it was a game packed with errors for the Ghanaian side. A lot of mistakes from the defenders at the back side. And it got to the second half, you could see that for the better part of the game, the Ghanaians failed to actually get a shot at goal. It was at the dying embers of the game that they got a few shots that were not too encouraging. And kudos to the defenders of Burkina Faso. They did very well. I mean, the wingers helped their right backs and the left backs defend very well. And it was a poor showing from the Ghanaian boys. And now they're out of the tournament. And we are all disappointed.
All right, so like Kingston, we've heard after the game that he said he has resigned as the head coach for the U17. What do you make of that?
I mean, there's more to that story. There's more to that story because I mean, they still have one game. They have the third place to play, and we don't know why. But then he just came out. No question was asked about his position as a coach. But then he decided to speak about it that he has decided to resign after this game, and so he will no more take the reins of the under-17, and that is poor. That is for us. We don't know why he has said that, but then it is surprising. We never expected that. But he's a coach, and probably he has offers somewhere else. You never know. So we live to see. Let the days roll by, and let's get to understand why he has resigned. You never know. Maybe he might be asked to come back. Of course, Xavi at Barcelona. He said that he had resigned and then was asked to come back. So let's see, maybe he'll be asked to come back. But we never know what happened.
I'm going to the third place game. Do you think the boys are going to be motivated enough? And what are you also expecting?
I mean, I don't think they would probably get it over with because we don't know who they might meet, either La Côte d'Ivoire or Nigeria. And for the fact that their coach is not going to be there for them anymore, he has just made us understand that he has resigned. It will bring the spirits of the boys down, and this is a bad time for them. It doesn't matter because we needed to qualify for the African Cup, the Under-17 African Cup. That was the most important thing for us. I mean, if we hadn't won the final, the most important thing was qualifying for the Afcon, and now it has escaped us. Third place doesn't matter.
All right, thank you for speaking with us. Yeah, so I'm here with
Asak Pius.
Yeah, Asak. Okay. Now, Ghana won, Burkina Faso 2. How did you see the game?
Oh, for me, the Blacks tried their best, but that was not what we were expecting from them. And Burkina Faso, they've also tried their best by beating Ghana, and this is the second time they've beaten the Black Starlets in a row. That's not what I expected as a Ghanaian fan and a journalist, but I mean, and the Blacks, they've done their best. And when we went for the post-match interview, like it is clearly stated that he has done his best, and it's sad for us that he's leaving the Black Starlets team after this particular tournament, but he's done well, he has developed enough, and I think going on into another endeavor, maybe you be appointed as a new head coach or you enter club coaching. I don't know, he said the reason will come later, but we're hoping to hear from you whether you still be as a coach or you enter into other, maybe politics. You know, some of the Ghana legends, they are now into politics. Even Stephen Appiah, he came today, and so he wants to enter into politics, but you like to know that whether he's willing to be a coach still or enter into a different endeavor. But for me, the Black Starlets, they've done well. We expected them to do the host and win 10 as the Black Princesses and the Black Satellites, but they didn't go as planned. But aside that, I think they've done well.
So watching this particular match, what do you think was the problem for Ghana, or were the problems?
For me, at a certain point in time, I don't know why they were using the long ball strategy, because you know the Burkina Faso, they have the height. They had the height, and we were some kind of shorter than their players. So why don't they put the ball on the ground so that we use it? And we know that the Black Stars, they are also good with the ball on the ground. I don't know why they were using that long ball strategy. And I don't know, I wanted to ask Laryea Kingston at the press conference, but I didn't have the opportunity. But I think defensively we were some kind of shaky. You know, the fullbacks, they didn't come when they had their left foot wrong. I don't know why, especially the number 3. So if the player had done well, we would have been better when operating offensively. But defensively, we were not very bad, but that wasn't the best. But when it comes to the midfield and the attack, the transition from the midfield to the attack wasn't the best. But the centre back, the number 4, I've forgotten his name. He was trying he tried progressing the ball to the wingers and the attackers, but it wasn't going as planned. But for Kagawa, I think he held the ball too much. Some circumstances could have given the ball out to the wingers or the strikers, but I don't know why he decided to hold the ball for long, especially Theophilus Nyaba. He also did well, but I think he held the ball for long. But all the same, they did their best by reaching the semi-finals of the Afcon qualifiers.
So the third place game, what are your expectations?
That will be against the loser of Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire. So we are expecting Nigeria because I had predicted that we would meet them in the final. And I like that rivalry between the two nations. So I'll be happy if Nigeria lose out to Cote d'Ivoire and they face us on Tuesday, right? At the University of Ghana Sports Center. Trust me, we are going to trash them by a lot of goals.
All right, thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you, OSIKANI.